All right, welcome back. Matthew chapter 8. When Jesus came down from the mountain, large crowds followed him, and a leper came to him and bowed down before him and said, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, "I am willing, be cleansed." And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Jesus said to him, "See that you tell no one, but go, show yourself to the priest, and present the offering that Moses commanded as a testimony to them." All right, so Jesus says not to tell anyone because it would interfere with his ministry in that location. And that's exactly what happened because this guy disobeyed him, and then Jesus ended up having to go out into the desert. All right, so then his comment about showing the priest the offering Moses commanded is a reference to Leviticus chapter 14, where the cure for leprosy included birds, wood, yarn, and hyssop on the first day. And on the 8th day, 2 male lambs and a ewe lamb, flour, and oil. But the point behind this was to reveal that the true healer had arrived, who fulfilled the law and the message of the prophets. Okay, verse 5. And when Jesus entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him, imploring him, and said, "Lord, my servant is lying paralyzed at home, fearfully tormented." Jesus said to him, "I will come and heal him." But the centurion said, "Lord, I am not worthy for you to come under my roof, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I also am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. And I say to this one, 'Go,' and he goes, and to another, 'Come,' and he comes, and to my slave, 'Do this,' and he does it." Now when Jesus heard this, he marveled and said to those who were following, "Truly I say to you, I have not found such great faith in anyone in Israel." Verse 11, "I say to you that many will come from east and west and recline at the table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the sons of the kingdom will be cast out into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." And Jesus said to the centurion, "Go, it shall be done for you as you have believed." And the servant was healed that very moment. Okay, the centurion was a Roman military officer, and due to his comment about not coming under his roof, confirms he was a Gentile because Jewish tradition held that a person who entered a Gentile's house was ceremonially defiled. Then Jesus comments about the sons of the kingdom being cast into outer darkness, indicating that being of Jewish descent was not a shoo-in to enter heaven. Jesus used the centurion's faith to show that entrance into his kingdom did not require a specific nationality, geographical reference, or religious background. Apparently, there were people of the Israeli nationality that were depending upon their heritage for salvation rather than faith. And Jesus was using this example to point this out. Okay, verse 14. When Jesus came into Peter's home, he saw his mother-in-law lying sick in bed with a fever. He touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she got up and waited on him. Verse 16. When evening came, they brought to him many who were demon-possessed, and he cast out the spirits with a word, and healed all who were ill. This was to fulfill what was spoken through Isaiah the prophet. He himself took our infirmities and carried away our diseases. And that's pointing to Isaiah chapter 53, verse 4. Jesus provided both physical healing and the ultimate victory over death, guaranteed by Christ's atoning work. But these would not be fully realized until his resurrection. Verse 18. Now when Jesus saw a crowd around him, he gave orders to depart to the other side of the sea. Then a scribe came to him and said to him, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." Jesus said to him, "The foxes have holes and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." Son of Man was a messianic title, and he was letting those who wanted to follow him know that if they made that choice, it wasn't going to be a stroll in the park in this life. Following him would come with sacrificing the normal desires of comfort, wealth, and ease. Verse 21. Another of the disciples said to him, "Lord, permit me first to go and bury my father." In this culture, that meant, let me receive my inheritance from my parents first. But Jesus said to him, "Follow me and allow the dead to bury their own dead." I mean, you can imagine being there in the intensity of this situation. It was Jesus' time to act, and he wasn't messing around. He was laser focused on God's mission. I love it. All right, verse 23. When he got into the boat, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great storm on the sea, so that the boat was being covered with waves. But Jesus himself was asleep. And they came to him and woke him, saying, "Save us, Lord, we are perishing." He said to them, "Why are you afraid, you men of little faith?" Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and it became perfectly calm. Verse 27. The men were amazed and said, "What kind of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him?" When he came to the other side, into the country of Gadarenes, which refers to a small town on the lake opposite Tiberias, perhaps where the modern village of Cursi is located, two men who were demon-possessed met him as they were coming out of the tombs. They were so extremely violent that no one could pass by that way. And they cried out, saying, "What business do we have with each other, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?" Referring to the time of their appointed judgment. Verse 30. Now there was a herd of many swine feeding at a distance from them. Verse 31. The demons began to entreat him, saying, "If you are going to cast us out, send us into the herd of swine." And he said to them, "Go." And they came out and went into the swine, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea and perished in the waters. The herdsmen ran away and went to the city and reported everything, including what had happened to the demoniacs. And behold, the whole city came out to meet Jesus. And when they saw him, they implored him to leave their region. All right, so they were either scared of him or upset possibly by a financial loss with the pigs. It's not really clear, but I bet this either way would freak them out. Okay, so that's it. Kind of a shorter chapter today. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you.